state laws, it's gonna have to be made before every meeting, because as of July the 1st, all public meetings have to be live streamed. We've been doing it for a couple of months to get in good practice, so this will be read each time, so you'll get so bored of it. This meeting of the Mitchell City Council is being live streamed. The meeting is also being recorded and will be archived on the city's YouTube channel and a link added to the website. This recording is being made in compliance with Indiana's open door law, Indiana Code 5-14-1.5. The recording, along with any agenda and minutes, will be made available for public inspection under the Indiana Access to Public Records Act. The recording will be retained for a minimum of 90 days. This recording is not the official minutes of the meeting, and those in attendance are being consented to being recorded. The YouTube channel for us will be City of Mitchell IN, and currently the city website is undergoing an update and will be back online in a much better format shortly. All right, I think we're all present except for, I believe Zach is absent tonight. Otherwise, we are present. Our attorney is out on vacation, so he's not here tonight either, but I don't think we have anything on the agenda that requires his input. Each of you have a copy of last month's minutes. Had a chance to look that over, see if there needs to be any additions or corrections. If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes as from the last month as they were read.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved. Okay, under old business is the golf cart inspection update. This is an old ordinance that was put in several years ago and then kind of fell by the wayside, but now that we have a lot more traffic with golf carts than we have recently, we thought out of safety's sake that we should begin inspections again and make sure all the golf carts and off-road vehicles that are on city streets are in good condition. The inspections began May 1st. The easiest way to get them inspected is bring them to the Mitchell Police Department on weekdays between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And when you do that, if you want to be sure that there is someone here, call ahead and make an appointment. Mary Bach will do most of the inspections, or one of the officers if they happen to be on station. The basic requirements in the current ordinance are headlights, tail lights, turn signals, brake lights, rear view mirror, and slow moving vehicle emblem. 18 years old with driver's license and proof of insurance. I have been questioned now that we are considering this again by several parents as to the reason that the age is 18 rather than 16 when they can drive an automobile at 16. There are several reasons why that it was put in at 18, and I'm going to ask Troy if he would just hit the highlights, just the cliff
You're gonna put
notes.
the chief on the spot.
Yeah. I mean, I can do it, but I won't do near as good a
So-
job as you will.
The short of the answer is you're asking our most inexperienced drivers to be out on the roadways in a vehicle that offers very little to no protection. So you put a 16 or 17-year-old driver behind the wheel of one of those, and the majority of them don't do something out of the way on purpose. It's out of inexperience. So that's the reason why teenage drivers pay more in insurance, or why their parents pay more in insurance, right? That's why you, in my opinion, you don't give a new car to a 16-year-old because they're gonna bang it and they're gonna park it wrong and they're gonna do this and that. So that is the reason why, my opinion is, that we leave it at 18. I stopped a cart here recently with a 16-year-old driver in the passenger seat that was letting her 14-year-old brother drive. Now, they seemed pretty responsible, and that the whole argument was, well, I've got a driver's license, and okay, but that's still, your 16-year-old's judgment is probably not on par with they should be. So, and for that reason in itself should be enough, in my opinion, that we leave the age where it's at. So, because I know there were some questions about whether we should lower it or not. So, that's really the short of it.
All right, I think that's, well put, Troy, but, these parents that asked me that, I told them I would bring it to the council because ultimately it is their decision if they wish to change that ordinance. Council, if you want to think about it and talk to some other parents and constituents, or if you have strong feelings about it and you wanna make a decision one way or the other tonight, that's kind of your call.
Well, I can understand, you know, the difference in 16 to 18, but I do, with Troy's explanation there, brings more to light about the responsibility of the person and what you could get into. So I would go, personally, I'd go with Troy's recommendation, just leave it at 18, personally.
Well, that's my opinion.
I'm good.
I believe we all support the police
I'm good with
department.
18.
And like I say, Troy, you guys deal with it a lot more than we do, and seen a lot more than we've seen, I'm sure. So, I'm gonna, recommend we just leave it at 18, so.
We will get something out this next few days on the website so that the parents that ask can understand why we did not make the change. But we did have reasons. All right, we will move on to the Taco Bell update. The sale of the Taco Bell property on Wilkins Way, located north of Mid-Southern Bank, which is now Beacon Credit Union, has been completed and construction is scheduled to begin this summer. So that has been in the works for well over a year, but since the money has changed hands, I believe it's gonna happen. The city has worked with the developers to finalize water and sewer connections and design of the location. The entrance and exits will be off of Wilkins Way. We certainly welcome the investment and the employment Taco Bell will provide. This is a major plus for our city. Any questions on that?
I think, as I understand, they'll probably have, Taco Bell have a news release later on to be out in the public, which they said.
Taco
we can
Bell.
go ahead and do
So
that.
where is this at?
You know where Mid-Southern Bank is? Or,
The stoplight?
Where the
across from
Stoplight,
CVS.
yes?
Yeah, right diagonal across from CVS on that corner.
Catty corner.
Oh, on that
Yeah.
vacant lot?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And
Thank you.
we're
We're
gonna
have a Taco Bell?
yes, and there's some discussion about possibly something else going up on the hill a little further too, so.
Yeah, the Taco Bell only uses half of the property that they bought. So they're looking to put something else up there. They want, but they
Oh,
have
so
no,
they bought all of that
they
property?
bought all of it.
2.6 acres.
So they're looking at something else, but they don't have anything under contract, so it's just speculation at this time. Okay, reminder on Clean Sweep, which we began today and goes through the remainder of the week. This is a great time to clean up property. Items that normally cannot picked up can be picked up this week. Old furniture, light building materials. Not a contractor building a house, but if you're doing your own little remodel job, you can put building materials out. You can put 4 automobile tires out, which in the past, those can't be picked up. You can put appliances out as long as they don't have compressors. And there is no charge. This is a free week, free pickup week. And when I say free week, it's a free week for you and it's a free week for the city. The county is not charging us during this week for those items. You need to call 812-849-4168 to be put on the list, and if you're on the list, the grapple truck will come by and get your stuff. I put mine out this morning and it was gone when I got home tonight.
And it all has
Through
to,
Friday?
Goes all the way through Friday.
and it has to be up front.
Needs to be out front or on the alley where they can get to it. It's gotta be someplace they can reach it.
So, like, if the trash comes down my alley, it can be in the alley.
I think your alley is wide enough for the grapple truck. So I would say put it back there, and if we can't reach it, we'll figure something out. We'll get it.
Yeah, just curious, okay.
Okay, next under new business is, the approval of the continued C&M tax abatement. This abatement was granted in 2013 for new investment in equipment and building in order to add employees. The abatement has to be verified and sent to the county assessor each year. We did it last year. We've done it since 2016, that's when it actually took effect. C&M is in compliance with the terms of the abatement agreement. So I would ask for a motion to continue the approval of that abatement.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. I think there's either 1 or 2 years left and then that abatement will be gone. All right, next on the agenda is just a update on police vehicle savings. I just picked that out to mention because we retired a police car that was costing too much to maintain and had given up its useful life. And Troy was able to find a replacement, a used car in excellent condition that'll give us years of service. And the difference in cost versus the new car was $40,000 to $50,000. So that was a huge savings. And that's just indicative of what all the department heads are doing. They are working within budgets. In some years in the past, they didn't really have a budget. They felt like they needed something, they'd order it, and we'd worry about paying for it later. Well, now we are operating within a budget and doing fairly well. That being said, Vicki's going to give us an update on current city finances.
Thank you. Coming into office, we did a little review. Our spending in 2022 was fairly balanced. In 23, the city ran a very large deficit. And we also had a poor audit. And so coming into my office, we put some new protocols in place where the council is getting additional information and reporting quarterly, and the Board of Works gets more information, and all the department heads get more financial information. We put in place a very strict budget last year for the city, and with careful budgeting and financial planning, in 2024, the city ended up with a surplus, which really offset the deficit from the year before. The state recommends a municipality have at least 40 to 50% of expenses cash on hand, which we do have. So we are in good shape should there come an emergency or there's a delay of tax payments, which has happened before. Last time I think it was 7 or 8 years ago maybe, and some communities had to borrow money in order to just function. So we are good in that regard. And as we move into 2025, we'll be replacing more worn out equipment while staying on budget. So again, he mentioned the police department car. Since we'll be retiring one, we bought something used. The water and sewer department needed a vehicle. And again, we bought something used because it doesn't have a lot of wear and tear. The meter reader drives it. So again, we're trying to make smart decisions, again, working within our budget. And we have been working with a financial plan Reedy Financial, and they are a municipal consulting firm, and they're assisting on our budget and asset management. So again, we just want to make sure that we watch our budget and make a plan for planned replacements. So we have a lot of our equipment that's quite old, and our focus on 2025 will be getting plans in place so that we can update equipment in a timely fashion, so we aren't at that tipping point. We're investing more in old equipment rather than just purchasing something new for our money. And with tax changes upcoming, then this is going to be more important than ever that we keep a close eye on our financial expenditures. So all in all, in pretty good shape.
Thank you, Vicki.
Mhm.
I appreciate all the efforts that you have made, because she has done a tremendous job, I can tell you that.
Thank you.
She keeps me in line. So.
She is doing a job.
It's a big job, just ask Nancy.
No, it takes, you know, a lot of planning anymore, tighter belts and the way you guys are going about your equipment stuff. You know, that's a plus to start with. You know, the income's probably gonna shy off a little bit, but hopefully we can stay above water and everything, so.
But we do have enough to weather whatever changes are happening. We will have enough money to offset those reductions in our potential reductions in our property taxes while we make a new plan to compensate for that. So we will be all right.
I did pass out to the council some recommendations on some changes to the dog and animal ordinance for them to study before the next council meeting. Also, we're looking at a couple of areas where there's a little traffic issues, congestion. I'll get them some information before the next council meeting, and we'll have those items on the agenda. Other than that, I think we're ready for public comment. Mary Ann, you're first.
I have
She can,
questions.
she can go to the podium.
One is, I've had people ask me.
One second. Can you go over to the podium since we have to
Okay.
record everything? Thank you.
Mhm. Everybody's been asking me, do I need to say my name for you? Mary Ann and Bill. Why the Amish aren't allowed to sell produce anymore in town? And I said, I don't know, but I'd ask it city council.
Why they can't do what?
Sell their produce, you know, they used to have stands around town.
We have not done anything to stop that or limit it. I think they have some stores out in the country.
Right.
So
And I
really,
know
that's
they
their
were,
choice.
they were amazing on the street, and they used to be, in ours too, and they aren't.
I'm not aware of anything that's been said or done to prohibit them or
No
do.
preference on their part.
Yeah,
Right, I think it's their choice.
they're more than welcome to sell their stuff,
Okay,
as far as I know.
okay, well, that's why I was asking, cause people were asking me, and I said,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
nothing, I don't think there's anything that we've.
Like they don't have to have a
made
license or anything. Someone said, well, maybe a license or something. Okay. And then, today someone said something to me that Hoosier Uplands is going out of business. And I said, I hadn't heard anything. And have you heard anything about that? I know they're not gonna do their Head Start. I don't
Well,
think,
some of their programs have been put on pause, but I wouldn't say they were going out of business, but I do know they've put the brakes on all their funding things. Like they used to help us with the sidewalk program, they're not going to do that because they don't even know if they're gonna get any money. They helped us with dumpsters, they had to put a hold on that because once again, they don't know if they're gonna get any funding.
okay,
So, but I haven't heard anything beyond that, I just know they've tightened their belts way down and.
okay, well, this particular part told me that they were going out of business, and I said, I don't think so, but I'll find out if anyone knows anything. Okay, and then the other thing, and I talked to you about it a few minutes, is this problem with people that have dogs and don't clean up their stuff, never. something really needs to be done about it. I'm not the only person, because I've talked to other people that have that problem. That neighbors don't pick up the dog stuff, and it stinks, as well as they get a virus in their yard for not cleaning up all that stuff. And the smell, I mean, there's days that I walk out my back door, and it's like a hammer hitting me, it smells so bad.
Well, I do know in the ordinance, of course, there's clearly an ordinance about you letting a dog do their business on somebody else's property. That's cut and dried. Now, as far as on their own property, the only thing from what I've read that, and once again, it's open to interpretation, would be if you could consider the smell enough to call it a public nuisance. And once again, that's kind of an interpretation, but I'll look into it, and I'll ask Greg, our city attorney,
Okay,
his opinion if there's something we can do there.
okay,
And I would say, you know, as far as them, and, you know, you probably see them do it, but for somebody to actually, an enforcement, the police to see them, or street department people to see them doing their business, to catch all of them,
because they have 3 dogs,
Yeah.
and they never,
and,
they mow it over,
and you think about, you know, the entire city,
right,
of being able to have somebody to watch all that at one time, it's be very difficult. I'm not saying it's right,
yeah,
but it'd be difficult. It's like speeders across town, Troy's got an officer
oh, yeah,
on the south side, for
You
speeding
know,
on there,
north side,
you can't have an officer on every street, which
that's true.
doesn't make it right, but it's difficult to enforce.
Right, and then, people have been shooting these feral cats, even though they've been fixed around us, they're shooting them with pellet guns or BB guns.
Well,
And
that,
the
I'm not
people-
aware of that.
Well, cause it was, Sandra in a haunted house, cause she's had all of the ones that she feeds and takes care of, and, a lot of her, she's had to take them back to vets and stuff, cause they've been shot.
Well, problem you got there is you gotta catch somebody doing it. I would think, can't just go out and, I mean, how you gonna enforce something you don't, I mean, you know,
That's true, I mean, I just thought I'd let you know that, she had said that to me.
Are they, killing the cats, or just wounded him?
They're wounding them, but they have to go to the vet, and so Bruce's shelling out a vet bill.
Well, I mean, obviously, if they use something stronger than a pellet gun and killed the animal, they would be in violation.
Right,
let's say, Troy, if they got a video of somebody shooting a cat, you can probably maybe address the situation or something, right?
if they
Generally, yes.
got a video.
So, but you also have another issue. You also have an issue of cats tearing up property.
Exactly.
So if you have them, like especially male cats marking properties and things like that, or tearing into garbage bags and things of that sort, then there's, you know, there's that issue as well. So if you're feeding feral cats and you've got they know where the food is.
Oh,
And they
yes.
go where the food is. So, you know, if you have a dozen feral cats, you're probably gonna have problems with that. And I can see their frustration of neighbors dealing with cats. You know, I don't wanna have it in the car and have a male cat walking up on it, you know, things like that. So, you know, the actual ordinance says, it doesn't matter what kind of animal it is, that they're supposed to be kept up. Now I've never seen that enforced, right? To a way, in 35 years, I can tell you for a fact, because I don't see very many cats with leashes around. I have seen them,
Yeah.
right? But, it's just one of those things, you know, we're kind of a rural community, and it's a little more, you know, a little less sensitive in that way. So, I can see, the ordinance says pellet guns, things of that sort, but I can also understand frustration of neighbors dealing with cats that are coming through the property and tearing things up and things of that sort too, so.
If they're destructive. you know,
Yes.
That's.
Right, so, you know,
But you know, she's gotten, like she had all the babies fixed and she's rehomed them to people, so she's
Well,
cleared a lot of the animals out of the neighborhood.
they multiply like rabbits.
That's right, and that's why
So,
she's
you
having
know,
them
so-
fixed.
That's kinda where it's at, so.
So unless you can get a video of someone shooting them, you can't.
Yeah, that would be, if you've got a video of that, have them bring them to us and we'll take a look at it and see what we need to do.
Okay, I'll tell her that.
So, yep,
Okay, and then the only other thing was, my alley, as far as I know, as soon as they get done with the streets, they're gonna try and fix so that all that water doesn't sit in the alley on the asphalt.
I'll make a
Thank
note
you.
of that.
Huh?
I will make a note of that.
Okay.
Sally, I believe you have the floor.
On behalf of the Mitchell Parks Board, I just want to address the council and say, thank you for your support, in the things that we do. And one thing that we're excited to move forward with is our, pickleball court installation. We've had along some hiccups, but I think we're working through that and hope to get that done by the end of this month. On June 6th, we're working with, Brooke at the pool, as well as some of our local food vendors. We want to have a community-wide event where we can at least do ribbon cutting for the basketball courts, and like I said, hopefully pickleball as well. And then also use this as an opportunity to interact with the public and give them an opportunity to weigh in on our playground. We have made clear that that is a priority, and it's gonna take some time and some, funding and some strategic planning for those grants and things that we know that we need to complete the city park playground renovation. We're working closely with a few different companies to look at their bids and their mock-ups that they've created for us. In the process, like I said, we still wanna listen to the public. Our goal is to constantly survey them, make sure that we know we're meeting the needs of the public through those things. And one thing would be an inclusive playground, at least partly an inclusive playground that would allow students that, or children that have physical and mental disabilities and limitations to be able to use those playground equipments and have a surface to reach those and make sure they're compliant for that reason. We see a lot of communities around us that have those, and that has been something that some people have come to us at our meetings, our public meetings, and talked about, as well as we've had some people on our committees that have shown passion for that. So that's something we want to address in those conversations. That being said, those kind of things aren't cheap, so we are being deliberate and strategic as to how we move forward with that. I know there's a lot of public input on our Facebook pages, the city's page, our page, and just Facebook in general. So we ask that you, if you're approached, to know that you can say that the Parks Board is working closely with the city and some members to make those things happen, but it's not gonna happen overnight. This opportunity on June 6th would give us an opportunity to have food vendors there, as well as other interactive opportunities, and that will lead into a night swim, weather pending. So that'll just be a fun activity and a place for people to come and kind of voice their opinions and talk to Parks Board, and probably see some pictures of some mock-ups and know that we are moving forward with that, as well as celebrating some of our other completions of projects there at the city park.
Is that when you're gonna have the ribbon cutting?
Yes.
You
And what
don't
was
have a
that
date on
date?
that yet, or?
June 6th, that
June
will
6th,
be that
okay.
afternoon, yes.
So the schedule's kind of up in the air, like I said, it depends on, if we finish pickleball and get those things ironed out to get that done by June 6th, then, so we'll have a schedule, it's more just to save the date right now. So we'd like to have you guys present, if you can be. You can take all the credit for all the work. Well, if you don't, then I will. No, I'm just kidding.
Say, we don't need the credit.
No, that's just it. At the end of the day, we have to work as a team, and we're not here just to take credit. We're here to work as a team and get things done.
Community
So,
effort.
most definitely. So so we appreciate all the help and support from our community members and from you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Is there anything else for the good of the order?
Hold the rain off for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Let
can
it dry
enough
out
of
a
that.
little bit.
It'd be nice if we could mow.
Yeah.
All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Guess that means we can go.
Maybe.
Start taking-